Hello, this is a video on how to set up the communication section in your Zenplanner database. So that includes setting up automated emails, which are automations, sending out batch emails and batch text, and viewing email and text history. So what we want to do is we want to go down here on the bottom left-hand corner, and we want to click on Setup. And we want to scroll down under Communication, and first we want to click on Automations. So automations are going to be automated emails that are sent out through your Zenplanner database, and they are firing off based on specific criteria, specific events that are happening in your Zenplanner database. So for example, there's an expiring credit card email. So when someone has a credit card that's about ready to expire, they will receive an email if this automation is turned on. There's also an automation that sends out like class confirmation emails, class reminder emails. So it's based on just an event that's happening in your database. You'll notice right now that all of the automations are turned off. So you'll see that there's a red dot right here on the left-hand side. And then here on the right-hand side, right underneath active, it says no. So what this means is that none of the automations will send out, which means that there's only going to be 2 automated emails that as of right now are going to send out through your Zenplanner database. And the first email is if you have any signature documents in your Zenplanner database, when a member signs any of those signature documents, they will automatically receive an email copy of that. That's not something that you can turn on or off in your Zenplanner database. It's just there and it's hard-coded in. The other automated email that will be sent out is here under the Member Connect section, and it's under Member Privileges. And if here under Automatic Access, if this box is checked, then that means that it means that the head of household, when anyone in the family is a member, will be receiving an email with login information to access Zenplanner. Other than those 2 emails, if all of your automations are turned off, nothing will be sending out here. And we do have a lot of preset automations. So here under preset, we have a lot that we've created for you. So we recommend looking through these preset automations first and seeing what we have and activating the ones that you want to use. And I'll be going through some of the ones that we recommend during this video. And then if you go through the preset automations and you don't see what you're looking for, know that you can always create a custom automation. So you can always go up here, add an automation, and you can create a custom one. And if you have any questions about creating a custom automation, reach out to our support team, and they're more than happy to help you with that. So the other thing that you want to keep in mind is if you are doing imports as part of the onboarding process, you want to be very careful and very cautious about what you activate, what automations you activate before the import, because when we do the import, there is the potential for some automations to fire out because automations do look 2 days back. So that means if you turned on an automation today, but you had done an import yesterday, the automation will look 2 days back and it will fire out for any events that happened within the last 2 days. So some of them that may fire out is like expiring credit card if you have a payment account import that you've done. Also like some of these past due ones. And then once here under this new member section, anything that's firing out based on sign-up date, you want to be really careful if we're doing a membership import because we don't want your members receiving these automated emails that you don't want them to receive yet, especially if you haven't let them know that you're switching to Zenplanner. So if you have any questions or if you're not sure about which automations you can turn on if you're doing an import, I would highly recommend just reaching out to our support team, and they're more than happy to clarify that for you. But I did want to go through some of the recommended automations. So we have some general recommended automations, and then we have some more specific recommended automations depending on what features you're using in your Zenplanner database. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just kind of go down this list, and I'm going to highlight the ones that we recommend and how to work with these automations and then how to activate them. One thing that we do recommend with any of the preset automations is you want to make sure that you are reviewing the email that's being sent out. These are kind of stock templates, and we highly recommend that you're customizing the language of each of these templates to reflect you and the brand of your business, just so people aren't confused when they're receiving these emails, but it's very consistent with any other emails that you would send out. The other thing is there are a couple of automations that do require some further setup, and so I will highlight those when we get to them. And they do have a warning, but you want to make sure that you do that further setup in order for them to fire out correctly. So just going down here, if we go to preset automations and we go here under the billing section, so I'm going to click on this expiring credit card. This is one that we highly recommend if you have integrated payment processing through Zenplanner. So if you have integrated payment processing through Zenplanner, you want the expiring credit card email. You also, if you're doing bank account payments, you want that here, and then the failed credit card payments. So if we click into the expiring credit card email, when you click into an automation, there's 4 sections here. So the first section up here is not something that you want to change for a preset automation. And if you change a section, there is a couple of exceptions, and I will go over these, but for most automations, if you change a section, it can actually prevent the automation from firing out correctly. And because if you add more things, if you're like, well, you know, I want to add payment subtype and I want to do multiple here, this is just limiting who this is being sent out to. So in most cases, you just want to leave here alone for preset automation. If you really think that you need to change something here under number 1, I would highly recommend reaching out to our support team first, because again, changing anything can narrow who this is being sent out to, and we don't want you to be in a situation where you think certain people are receiving an email, but they aren't. So again, you want to review this, but don't make any changes. And then here under number 2, this is going to be when the automation is firing out. So this is going to be the time length, and then this is going to be the event that's happening in the system. So this is being fired out 30 days before account expiration. So you just want to confirm that you can change this. If you're like, hey, you know, I really want people to receive this email 45 days before their credit card on file expires, you can always change that. And then choose Message Template Editor. You always want to click Open Message Template Editor right here. So if I click Open Message Template Editor and I click OK, this is going to bring me to the email that is being sent out. So the email just says like, hey, your credit card on file will expire in 30 days. Anything here that's in kind of these funky brackets, these are going to be tags. So this is going to automatically pull that information. So if this is being sent to Joe Smith, this would say, hello, Joe, and then it would say your credit card on file ending with, and then it would have the visible digits. So it would say ending with 0002 will expire in 30 days. And then it has, please log in to your Zenplanner account or the Zenplanner member app. This is a link. And then again, these are tags here. We have in all the emails, we sign them with school name. You can always change this. This will pull the name under business info, and we do recommend leaving it instead of just replacing it with your business name, just in case you change your business name at some point down the road. You don't have to go into all the automations and make sure that you change all of them. And then once you change this, you want to just look at who it's going to. So primary email means that it's going to your member. So it would go to the primary email on their profile. And then if you want to be BCC'd on this, if you want to receive a copy of this email, you can always BCC it to school email. And then this by default is going to have a reply to the school email. So if someone responds to this, it would go to the email under business info and you would receive the response. So once you go through this and you confirm that everything looks good, what you want to do is you just want to go back to automations because you'll see that we're actually in document templates. Document templates and automations actually speak to each other, so they're linked together. So don't let that confuse you. You just go back to automations. The automation that you were just working with is going to be here at the top. You just click into it. And then here, you just want to go to number 4. So you don't really need to change anything here. You don't have to change the name or the category. You just check the box to activate, and you save changes. Now you'll see that it's green, and it says it's active. So this will fire out for anyone moving forward, as well as look back 2 days. So that's one that we recommend. If you do have integrated payment processing, we recommend the bank account payments, failed credit card payments. We also recommend this past due bill profile alert. What this is going to do is it's going to put an alert on someone's profile if they have a past due bill, and it prevents self-check-in. And then if you have any appointments in your database, we recommend that you have appointment confirmation email, appointment notification, staff email. This sends an email to the staff, and then appointment reminder email. And then if you have any drop-ins, we recommend the class confirmation drop-in as well as the class reminder drop-in. And then we have the free trial here. So we would recommend that if you're doing any free trials. And it's kind of up to you if you want to use the confirmation and reminder emails for members. If you're doing any events, we recommend that you have the event confirmation email and the event reminder email right here. And then this is the first class email. We do recommend activating this. This will send a follow-up email after someone's first class, whether they're a prospect or member, they will receive a follow-up email. And then this waitlist upgraded to reserved. This is a really important email that you want to make sure that you activate if you have a waitlist. And the reason is because you would think that this goes out automatic, but it is something that you have to activate. And this will send out an automated email when someone is moved from the waitlist to reserved for a class. And we definitely want to let people know about that so they can cancel their registration if they need to. So that's one that we highly recommend if you have a waitlist. Here under the marketing section, we have this like us on Facebook email. So this just prompts people, it's after 5 attendances, it prompts people to like you on Facebook. One thing is if I click into this, so this is one email that setup is required. So if I click the open message template editor and I click OK, you'll see here that we have this highlighted in yellow. It says setup required, hyperlink your Facebook link to this icon. And that's for the other marketing emails too. So if you ever see anything highlighted in yellow, you want to stop and you want to read it because it means that setup is required before you can activate it, which is also why we highly recommend that you're going into each document template before you're activating it and just making sure that everything looks good. So how you're going to hyperlink it is you're going to just highlight this Facebook icon. You're going to go up here to this little link icon, and you're going to do the source is HTTPS, and then you're going to just put in your Facebook URL here. So if we put facebook.com, we would do insert, and then it inserts the link right there. And then what you can do is you can just get rid of this setup required. You can just delete that. And then you can save changes. So if we go back here to automations, if we kind of just keep scrolling down here, So this is same like the review us on Google and Yelp. If you want to use that, there is setup required. And then if we go here under the member section, so the absent member, this is an email drip. So this is if someone hasn't come to class in a certain amount of time, this is something that we recommend activating. And then this dropped membership email. So this is super important, and it does require additional setup. So if you click into this dropped membership email, the additional setup that it requires is you actually have to click this multiple button, and you have to select every drop reason except membership upgrade. And how you're going to do that is you're going to click on multiple, and then on a Mac, you're going to hit Command. On a PC, you're going to hit Control, so just hold that key down on your keyboard. So I'm holding it down right now. And then it allows me to click on these other ones, so I can click on everything but membership upgrade. The reason why this is really important is because if you don't do this additional setup step, people who upgrade their membership will receive this email, and it's an email that you don't want people to receive, because what's going to happen is if we click this Open Message Template Editor, people are going to receive this like, we're sorry to see you go, when they upgrade their membership, which you don't want people to receive that. So that's kind of this up here, just as important setup required. And this, we also recommend creating a survey. So you can actually send people the survey and you can get valuable information. And you can use a software called SurveyMonkey to do that. So if we go back here to automations, we go to the dropped, you'll see that it saved all the changes that I made here under the drop reason, and then you could go ahead and activate that. And then if we're just continuing to scroll down here under the member section, this expiring class card, so if you have any class cards, you want to make sure that this is activated. This would allow people to, or this would send people an email when their class card is about ready to expire. Expiring membership, this is one we recommend if you have memberships that are not set to auto-renew. And this would just send them an email letting them know, hey, you know, your membership is about ready to expire. Please reach out to us. Please stop by the next time you're in, and we can talk about renewing your membership. And then happy birthday email. This sends an email to members on their birthday, and I would highly recommend customizing that. And then if we go here under the new member section, so right here, this is the new member email drip. This is very CrossFit specific, so we would recommend using this for CrossFit boxes. And so this is just a new member drip. You can kind of go through it and see what it looks like. And then if you're not using the new member drip, we highly recommend you're using this new member welcome email. This will send new members welcome email right when they sign up for a membership. And then this workout tracking, this is if you're using Zenplanner workout tracking, you want to make sure that you activate that. And then here under the prospect section, so free trial, if you're using free trials, you want this to be activated. You'll see that a lot of these will say like email, or it says staff email. So anything that says email is being sent out to the member. Anything that says staff email is being sent out to the staff, and anything that's a staff task. So let me actually click into this and show you what this looks like. So if I click Open Message Template Editor, you'll see that it's pretty short. So it's actually going to create a task in Zenplanner, and we'll go through how that looks in just a couple of minutes. You do need to assign a staff member to the task. So this would be primary instructor, or you can assign like a specific staff member. And also know that while it does generate a task in your Zenplanner database for that staff member will also receive an email letting them know that they have a task. The good thing about tasks is they keep showing up until you mark them as complete. So if you feel like you need a reminder or you want to make sure that something's complete, you can have it as a staff task That's why we have like the free trial as a staff task. The other thing is this free trial missed, so if someone misses their free trial, they can receive this email. And then new prospect staff task. This is super important if you have any prospects that are being added into the system, because this will create a staff task when they're added into the system, so that the staff member makes sure to follow up with them. And this is super important just because you want to make sure that no prospects or leads are getting missed and not getting followed up with. And then prospect hasn't returned. This is also a drip, and this is if a prospect, so they're not a member, they're a prospect, they've maybe come in for a drop-in, they've come in for a free trial, but they haven't come back. And it doesn't matter if it was like their first attendance or their fifth attendance, it just means they're not a member and they haven't come back. This is a drip to just check in with them and to remind them and to just be like, hey, you know, we want to see you back. And then the prospect funnel, so I'm not going to go through this in this call, but we have additional resources about the prospect funnel. And then if I scroll down here, the last thing we have here is retail. So if you're doing any online retail, you want to make sure to activate both of these. And then you'll see here, down here at the bottom, it says legacy automations. It can be super easy to miss this, but you do want to go through the legacy automations. If you have retail and you're tracking inventory, you want to activate the inventory alerts. And another important one is the late fee. If you want this to automatically generate a late fee, if someone has a bill that's so many days past due, like this is 10 days, it'll be 25, it will just add that bill to their profile. So that is the automation section. And then I do want to show you how tasks show up. So if I go here to dashboard, you'll see right here it says my tasks and it says 1. So these are where tasks are going to live. So any automations that you have that generate a task, they will be right here. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you mark a task as complete once it's been done, or you're going to keep receiving an email about it. It's going to keep showing up. So how you're going to do that is you're going to click here on the task, and you can just click this task is complete, and you can save changes. You can also do it in batch by clicking on this plus sign up here, clicking batch update, and then you could click status to be complete, and you save changes. So that's how tasks are going to work. You can also change how often you receive an email with your task, and that's going to be under my account. And you can go to change task notifications, and then you can change it. The default is weekly, but you can change it to none or daily. And this is just going to be a list of your tasks. You will still get the separate email every time you have a task. Every time you have a task assigned to you. So that is tasks. The other thing that I wanted to show you is here under setup. If you go here under communication and you go under document templates, this is how you would send out a batch email or a batch text to people. So batch emails and batch texts are different than automations, because with an automation, it's happening automatically. You don't have to do anything. Once it's turned on, it's going to keep firing out. A batch email or a batch text would be if you wanted to send people a newsletter, or you wanted to send people an announcement, or if you needed to close due to the weather, that would be under document templates. And we do have some pre-built out templates, but we don't kind of have like an announcement template. So what I recommend is you just click add a template. The report here, this is most of the time going to be a people report. This is going to allow you to send the email to members, to prospects, to alumni. If you pull this people report and you can't find the criteria that you want to use to send a certain email to people, reach out to our support team, and they're more than happy to help you. So I'm going to leave this as people format, so you can do email or text message. So text messages are just available in the US and Canada right now, and it is $0.015 per message per person that is sent to, and that's going to be added to your monthly Zenplanner bill. So if you send 100 text messages, it's going to be $1.50, and that will be added to your bill. So I'm going to just click email message. Here for the name, you would just put a name. So I'm going to just put announcement here, and then And then here under category, I'm going to click add another item here. And what I like to do is to create another category. I call it A custom. You can call it whatever you want, but if it starts with A, it's going to appear at the top of this list. So then you'll be able to super quickly find the document templates that you've built out yourself. So I'm going to just click OK. I'm going to save and edit the content. And then this is where you would type in your message. You can use tag right here. So if I click on tag, we can do first name, and then we can say hello first name, and then you would just type in your message here. And then for the subject, you would put in a subject. You can copy and paste this if you wanted to read their first name. You can do this, like exciting news. And then again, this is going to the primary email. The automatic reply to is going to be to you or it's going to be to the school email. If you want it to go to someone else, you can select that here. And then if we save changes, I'm going to click on this black button here at the top that says send emails. And this is going to pull a people report. So this is what we had selected a couple screens back. And so this is pulling all of my people in my Zenplanner database. You can go up here where it says name, and you can click on status. And you can say status is prospect, student, or alumni if you only want to send it out to specific people. And alumni in Zenplanner means that someone had a membership, but they no longer do. So they're under alumni status. And then if you have more than 50 over here, like it will say 1 out of 50 of 100, you just want to click the show all button to make sure that everyone is appearing on this list. And then what you're going to do is you're going to click on this plus sign. You're going to click send announcement. It's going to take you one more time to this email. It's like, hey, are you sure you want to send this? You just click send to emails, and it says they've been sent. So if we go back here to document templates, you'll see right here under A custom, I have the announcements. And so you can always go back in here. And I have some clients who will just change this. So some clients will change it to they'll have like a weather one, and then they'll just change the dates and the specific information instead of creating a new document template. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you was here under email history. So email and text history, this is going to be a history of all of the emails and the text messages that have been sent out. It does cap at 2,000, but you can go in and you can see here if something was delivered, if something was opened. If it is red, it means that it wasn't delivered, and you can click into it and you can see the error. So it will usually say like invalid or it'll say unsubscribed. If you ever see unsubscribed, it means that someone's on our unsubscribe list. And what you can do is you can just reach out to our support team, and with the person's permission, we can remove them from that list. So that's email history, and then text history is going to be the exact same thing. So text history is going to be a history of all of the text messages that have been sent out through your Zenplanner database. So that is how to set up the communication section. If you have any further questions or any specific questions that you have to your business, just reach out to our support team, and they're more than happy to help you. Our support team's phone number is 1-866-541-3570, or you can also email them at help@zenplanner.com. Thank you.